Michelle Obama just dropped a truth bomb that no one saw coming. What really went down between Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston? There were rumors for years, but now the truth is out. And let's just say it's shaking things up in a way that no one saw coming. Who would have thought that the Obamas and Aniston would have such a strange connection? This new information turns a political story into a full-on Hollywood plot twist. First up, Michelle's mysterious no-show at not one, but two huge events has everyone talking. Skipping Jimmy Carter's funeral and Donald Trump's inauguration? That's not exactly a case of double booking a hair appointment. Barack showed up to both, yet Michelle was nowhere to be seen, setting the rumor mill on fire. The official excuse was scheduling conflicts, but let's be real. Who's buying that? The whispers started small, but before long they turned into a full-blown hurricane of speculation. Then out of nowhere, Jennifer Aniston's name popped up, making things even messier. Now let's be clear, Jennifer Aniston's involvement isn't some random coincidence. The reason behind Michelle's absence might be way more jaw-dropping than anyone could have imagined. Yep, you read that right, Jennifer Aniston. Some supermarket tabloid first planted the idea that Barack and Jennifer were a little too friendly, and at first it sounded completely ridiculous. But then things got weird. Social media detectives, gossip blogs, and conspiracy theorists jumped on the story like it was the next big scandal, analyzing every detail like it was a true crime case. And honestly, sometimes gossip has a weird way of being scarily accurate. When photos and timelines start looking suspicious, people start paying attention. Speaking of photos, let's talk about that awkward picture Barack posted. It was him and Michelle sitting at what looked like a dinner straight out of Beauty and the Beast. Instead of shutting down the rumors, it did the exact opposite. Michelle's expression? Let's just say it wasn't exactly giving happy couple energy. And the lighting? Yikes! The internet exploded with theories, with many pointing out how staged and strange the whole thing felt. If this was meant to put the divorce rumors to bed, it backfired spectacularly. Adding even more fuel to the fire, there's been quiet chatter around Washington, D.C. for over a year about cracks in the Obamas' marriage. Usually these things get dismissed as baseless gossip, but now, between Michelle's absence, Jennifer's name floating around, and some very convenient timing, those whispers are turning into full-blown shouts. And the people spilling the tea aren't just random internet trolls. Some are insiders with connections in both politics and Hollywood. If the timing really is everything, then things are lining up too perfectly. And what about Jennifer? She's staying silent, which of course only makes people talk even more. The classic no-comment move always ends up being spun into silence speaks volumes. But let's be real, Jennifer doesn't need more drama surrounding her personal life. Still, whether she likes it or not, her name is now glued to this story and people are digging deep for any possible connection between her and Barack. And let's not forget the biggest question of all. Why now? Why is this story suddenly blowing up at this exact moment? Is it a well-timed hit job, or are we actually watching the cracks form in one of the most iconic modern couples? One thing's for sure. Whatever's going on, the internet isn't letting this one go anytime soon. The internet never sleeps when it comes to piecing together even the tiniest details, from Michelle's body language to Barack's increasing number of solo outings. And with every cryptic post and every vague comment, the theories just keep stacking up. Oh, and let's not forget Megyn Kelly's take on all this. She straight up called Michelle's absence proof that things aren't so great in paradise. Bold? Absolutely. But the real kicker? No one's really shutting it down in a way that makes the rumors disappear. In fact, the lack of a solid denial is only making things spiral further. When juicy gossip like this goes unchecked, it's like a runaway train. Once it picks up speed, good luck stopping it. But let's be real, this isn't just about Michelle skipping a couple of events or Barack getting snapped at a restaurant alone. People are digging way deeper, questioning everything, from their joint appearances to their social media interactions. Are those sweet "I love you" captions just for show? Are those public smiles hiding something way more complicated? The story practically writes itself, and let's face it, the public just can't look away. And just when you think this saga couldn't get any wilder, in comes a bizarre little detail. Jessica mentioned in a DM that she overheard Jennifer Aniston's inner circle casually chatting about Barack. The weirdest part? They were apparently sitting with a psychic at some event, And Jennifer may have let something slip. Yes, you read that right. A psychic. And then, as if this wasn't already turning into a full-blown soap opera, Meghan McCain decided to add even more fuel to the fire. She had a political reporter on her show who claimed they've been hearing whispers about the Obamas heading toward divorce, and not from random gossip rags, but from well-connected sources. And we're not talking about your usual anonymous insiders. These are people who actually run in the same elite circles as the Obamas. According to them, Barack and Michelle have been living separate lives for a while now. The speculation only got louder when Michelle's absence at major events became impossible to ignore. Let's not forget what really got people talking: Michelle skipping key events. She missed Jimmy Carter's funeral, which instantly set off alarm bells. Sure, skipping Donald Trump's inauguration was one thing, politics and all that. But not showing up to pay respects to Carter? That's a whole different situation. Then came the now infamous Barack post, a photo of Michelle that, to put it mildly, was odd. She looked like she was in sleepwear, no makeup, just not a photo anyone would expect her to approve. Did Barack post it without her knowing? That's the question that sent the internet into a frenzy, with people wondering if it was some kind of quiet signal about where things really stand. And just when you think things can't get more suspicious, Meghan McCain's guest casually drops another bomb. The Obamas haven't been seen together in public since Kamala Harris's DNC event. Yeah, you read that right. Not since Harris tried to push her presidential campaign. And if you're keeping track, that's a long time for a couple as high profile as them to not make a single public appearance together. It's not like the Obamas to completely fade from the limelight. So what's really going on? Even Michelle's latest book tour feels like she's doing her own thing, rather than anything tied to Barack. And now, we get to the Jennifer Aniston connection, the part of this saga that turns everything from slightly strange to absolutely wild. Word on the street is that Barack has been hanging out with her circle. Sounds straight out of a celebrity tabloid, right? But when rumors like these start getting traction from sources that aren't known for making stuff up, you have to wonder, could there actually be something to it? Are we watching one of the most powerful political couples of modern times quietly falling apart behind closed doors? Now, insiders are saying an official announcement might not be far off. And this isn't just idle gossip. There's apparently real weight behind it. Barack and Michelle have always been seen as America's sweethearts, and the idea of them calling it quits is hitting people hard. It's not just about rumors, it's about the emotional connection people have with them. Their marriage wasn't just a relationship, it was part of their brand, part of what made them so relatable. If they actually go through with a divorce, it'll send shockwaves through both political and social circles, shaking up the way people see them entirely. And let's talk about Michelle's recent moves, because if you look closely, she's been making some pretty independent choices. Her speeches, her tours, her books, it's all giving solo career energy. Some are reading this as her slowly but surely stepping into a new phase of her life, one that might not include Barack in the same way. And when you consider how carefully the Obamas have always crafted their public image, it's hard not to wonder if this is all part of a much bigger shift. Could this be the calm before the storm? The Obama brand has always been about unity, teamwork, and shared goals. They've been the picture of a strong partnership. But if these rumors are true and that partnership is unraveling, what does that mean for their legacy? It's a question that's making a lot of people uneasy. If an official announcement does come, it'll be one of the biggest headlines in modern political history. Then there's the issue of timing. Why now? Why let these rumors spiral without putting out a clear statement? Some think the Obamas are waiting for the right moment, figuring out how to break the news in a way that causes the least damage. But the longer they stay silent, the bigger the speculation grows. More and more insiders and journalists are stepping forward with what they claim to know, and the pressure is mounting. Every day without a response is like adding another log to the fire. People are connecting the dots. Barack's recent solo appearances, Michelle's noticeable absences, and the bizarre mention of Jennifer Aniston's circle. Whether it's all just wild speculation or something more, the picture that's forming is getting harder to ignore. And while it's easy to brush some of this off as just another round of celebrity gossip, the fact that it's coming from well-connected sources makes it harder to dismiss. This isn't just some tabloid story made up for clicks. These are people who actually move in the same elite circles as the Obamas, and they're hinting that there's a lot more going on behind closed doors. Barack showing up alone at Jimmy Carter's funeral was just another puzzle piece that sent people into a frenzy. Some are even saying the cracks have been showing for years, that the Obamas have been quietly living separate lives, and that it's all just now coming to the surface. And then, just to make things even wilder, there's the part that no one saw coming. The idea that Barack might be getting close to Jennifer Aniston. Sounds ridiculous, right? But social media lives for this kind of stuff. And once a rumor like this takes off, it's nearly impossible to stop. And now that Aniston's name is involved, the whole thing has taken on a life of its own. Hollywood, politics, and a former president all tangled up in one messy, internet-fueled saga. It's exactly the kind of drama people can't resist. And let's be honest, the internet is having way too much fun with this. The memes? Everywhere. The jokes? Non-stop. What started as whispers has turned into a full-blown circus, with people dissecting every little detail like they're solving some grand mystery. But the real question is, why do these kinds of stories take off in the first place? Is it just boredom? Or is there something deeper about the way people love to see public figures knocked off their pedestal? Adding even more fuel to the fire is the unsettling story of the Obamas' personal chef, a man who tragically drowned behind their Martha's Vineyard home under circumstances that some say were never fully explained. With details scarce and speculation running wild, this mystery has only added another layer to the growing web of conspiracy theories. And with everything else going on, it's no surprise that people are putting all these puzzle pieces together, whether they actually fit or not. Why was the Secret Service there? Why didn't anyone step in? The questions are getting louder, but the answers remain frustratingly vague, leaving people's imaginations to run wild. If this had happened under someone like Donald Trump, would the media have brushed it off so easily? That comparison isn't new, but it keeps coming back, making people question whether there's a double standard in the way these stories are covered. Critics argue that certain figures seem untouchable, with controversies conveniently fading from the spotlight. If the roles were reversed, if this tragic incident had been linked to a different high-profile figure, would the headlines have lasted longer? Many believe the media chooses its battles carefully, and this might be one of those cases. But despite mainstream coverage slowing down, independent voices are refusing to let this story die. Podcasts, YouTube channels, and social media platforms are keeping it alive, convinced that there's more going on beneath the surface. And then there's the alleged leaked DM that supposedly confirms the Obama-Aniston affair. Leaked messages are always tricky, easy to fake, and even easier to misinterpret. But that hasn't stopped people from obsessing over every single word. Even Jennifer Aniston's reactions are being put under the microscope. Her publicist has denied the rumors outright, yet some believe her casual responses hint at something more. It's all speculation, but speculation alone is enough to keep people glued to the drama. Why does a baseless rumor carry so much weight in today's media landscape? It's not even about facts anymore. It's about the spectacle, the memes, the theories, and the rush of feeling like you're uncovering a grand scandal. Whether it's whispers about Barack and Michelle living separate lives, a supposed Hollywood affair, or the still mysterious death of their personal chef, each piece adds to a growing house of cards. And here's the thing. The more people talk about it, the more real it starts to feel. Does it even matter if there's no concrete proof? Apparently not. But let's go back to the chef's death for a moment, because that's the part people can't seem to let go of. How does someone drown in shallow water while Secret Service agents are right there? It doesn't make sense, and that's exactly why people won't stop asking questions. Was it just a tragic accident, or is there more to the story? Critics argue that if something like this had happened during another administration, it would still be dominating the news cycle. Instead, it's slipping into obscurity, kept alive only by those who refuse to accept the official version of events. Some say this is becoming the new normal, scandals getting brushed aside unless they fit a specific narrative. People are combing through every tweet, every photo, desperate to find something that supports their suspicions. When Barack Obama posts a picture of Michelle that looks even slightly off, the internet pounces. She doesn't look the same, they say. Something's different. What's really happening behind the scenes? The speculation is relentless, and the memes, endless. But why does the public care so much about the personal lives of powerful people? This isn't just about Barack Obama or Jennifer Aniston. It's about the way society is drawn to fame, power, and most of all, the illusion of perfection. There's something deeply fascinating about seeing cracks form in a seemingly untouchable public image. Is it jealousy, curiosity, or just the need for entertainment? Whatever it is, one thing is clear. These stories aren't going away anytime soon. The chef's death, the rumored affair, the whispers about a quiet separation. It's all blending into a storm of speculation that just keeps feeding itself. The jokes and memes might seem harmless, but they have a way of shaping public perception. People start believing that maybe, just maybe, there's some truth hidden within the laughter. And when major news outlets don't cover these stories in depth, it only adds more fuel to the fire. Why aren't they talking about this? What are they avoiding? The more questions go unanswered, the bigger the mystery grows. The lack of coverage isn't calming suspicions, it's adding fuel to them. When a story fades too quickly, people assume there's something being hidden. But at its core, this isn't really about Barack Obama or Jennifer Aniston. It's about how fast rumors spread in the digital age, where a single tweet turns into a headline and a meme somehow becomes a widely accepted belief. The line between truth and speculation blurs so much that eventually the speculation itself becomes the story. Will there ever be clear answers? Or does it even matter? In a world where perception often carries more weight than reality, the truth might just be whatever people choose to believe. As the chatter about the Obamas continued, it was impossible not to think about other high-profile breakups. Love in the spotlight has always been tricky, and history has proven that even the strongest-looking couples can crumble under the weight of fame. Let's take a look at some of the most jaw-dropping divorces in the United States, the ones that had everyone talking, choosing sides, and watching the drama unfold like a real-life soap opera. First up, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Their short-lived marriage turned into one of the messiest legal battles Hollywood has ever seen. They tied the knot in 2015, but by the next year, things had completely fallen apart. Heard accused Depp of some serious allegations, sparking lawsuits, media frenzies, and endless speculation. Depp later fired back with a defamation case, claiming her accusations weren't just false, but had also cost him major roles in Hollywood. Their courtroom drama played out like a never-ending reality show, leaving the world to wonder, were they both victims of fame, or was one of them truly lying? Then, there was Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, the golden couple that seemed unbreakable. After over a decade together and 6 kids, their 2016 split sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Jolie cited parenting concerns and Pitt's behavior as reasons for the breakup, which led to a custody battle that was anything but private. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get messier, they started fighting over a multi-million-dollar French winery. What really went wrong? Were they ever as perfect as they seemed? Or had cracks been forming for years? Britney Spears and Kevin Federline's breakup was another one that played out under a brutal spotlight. They married in 2004, but by 2006, things had already fallen apart. Their custody battle over their 2 sons was gut-wrenching, especially as Britney's personal struggles were dragged into public view. Federline was granted custody, leaving Spears to face one of the hardest periods of her life. Was their relationship doomed from the start? Or did the relentless media attention make everything worse? Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale's divorce was another heartbreak that left fans reeling. After 13 years of marriage, their seemingly rock-solid relationship came crashing down in 2016. The reason? Reports of Rossdale's alleged affair with the family nanny. The betrayal was a painful reminder that no relationship, no matter how picture-perfect, can survive when trust is broken. Speaking of shocking splits, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's love story seemed like a Hollywood fairy tale, until it wasn't. They met on a movie set, got married in 1990, and even adopted 2 kids together. But by 2001, Cruise filed for divorce, catching fans completely off guard. Both later admitted that it was a devastating time in their lives, but the lingering question remains, Was their romance always destined to fall apart? And then there was the blink and you'll miss it marriage of Renee Zellweger and Kenny Chesney. They tied the knot in May 2005, but just 4 months later it was over. What really fueled the media storm was the word fraud appearing in their annulment papers. The gossip was relentless, with wild theories flying left and right. They later clarified that it wasn't what people thought, but by then the damage was done. Fame and love rarely mix well, and if history has shown us anything, it's that no couple, no matter how perfect they appear, can escape the pressures of public life. Whether it's courtroom showdowns, shocking betrayals, or whirlwind romances that barely make it past the honeymoon phase, Hollywood divorces will always keep people watching, guessing, and waiting for the next big headline. Was it just a case of two people realizing they weren't right for each other? Or was there something more beneath the surface? And who could forget Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries? Their whirlwind romance and extravagant wedding in 2011 had the whole world watching. But just 72 days later, it was over. The breakup had everyone asking the same question. Was it love, or was it all just for show? With cameras capturing every moment of their lives, was there ever a chance for their marriage to be real, or was it doomed before it even began? Paul McCartney's divorce from Heather Mills was another jaw-dropping headline grabber. The two married in 2002, but by 2006 their relationship had completely unraveled. What followed was one of the most expensive celebrity divorces in history, with Mills walking away with a hefty settlement, though far less than she had initially hoped for. Did money destroy their relationship, or was it only a matter of time before things fell apart? Mel Gibson's split from Robin Moore was another shocker, especially because they had been married for an incredible 26 years before calling it quits. By the time their divorce was finalized in 2011, it reportedly cost Gibson a fortune. After so many years together, people couldn't help but wonder, what really causes a long-lasting marriage to break down? Was it fame? Fortune? Or was there something else at play that the public never saw? Then there was Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, whose divorce was surprisingly drama-free compared to most Hollywood breakups. They tied the knot in 2005, announced their separation in 2015, and officially finalized their divorce in 2018. Despite ending their marriage, they remained committed to co-parenting their 3 kids and maintaining a friendly relationship. Could their split serve as a rare example of how to handle divorce the right way? Or was it just luck that they managed to part ways without a bitter fallout? Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson's brief marriage was another one that made headlines. They wed in 2008, separated in 2010, and by 2011, their divorce was finalized. Both later admitted that balancing their skyrocketing careers with a relationship was nearly impossible. Is Hollywood the ultimate relationship killer? Or were they just never meant to last? These high-profile divorces might seem like nothing more than tabloid gossip, but they actually say a lot about love, fame, and the immense pressure of living under constant public scrutiny. When your personal life is on full display for the world to judge, what's the real cost? Does being in the public eye doom even the strongest relationships? Or are some couples simply not built to go the distance? And then there's the bigger question. Does Michelle Obama's recent revelation clear the air? Or does it add more fuel to the fire surrounding the Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston rumors? Is this just another example of baseless speculation getting out of hand? Or is there something hidden beneath the surface that people aren't seeing yet?